TravelDog here, and in today's video we are galloping off to Portobello Market in Notting Hill. Hundreds and thousands of locals and tourists flock to Portobello Market every year because it is the most famous market in London and one of the most famous in the world. It's full of antiques, vintage fashion and bric-a-brac. And in today's video we're going to find out if this place is really worth it. Is it just crowded mayhem or is it magic? We just got out of Tube. There's about 9 billion people wandering around on a Saturday afternoon, and we are on the way to Portobello Market. Let's see what happens. Billions of people here. Wow, literally billions of them. Before you even get to Portobello Market, there's loads of weird and freaky shops full of like vintage fashion, strange mugs and food. Cherry on. It's got lots of nice cakes in the window. Well, vegan chocolate is quite nice. Not vegan.
Do you want
Red velvet cake. Keto almond. There you go. If you're keto dieting it, you can have a keto almond cake. You can buy a cool little shopping bag here. It's quite nice, isn't it? Here we go. £1 mugs. Mrs. D's got into her £1 mugs. And this is one of the shops that sells this vintage fashion, which is actually surprisingly expensive. £260 for the smallest bag on earth. Can't put anything in. Quite cool, the shoes. I like the bows on it, man. It is $440 for those shoes. That's a lot of money for shoes. But I guess second-hand stuff is quite fancy these days, isn't it, sometimes? So we're still mooching on. Slightly unnerved by the guy from the cake shop telling me my phone's going to be stolen any second. So many people out here today, man. Just millions of them. You got all sorts of weird stuff in here, man. Mermaid tailor's cool. Mini chairs. Weirdly enough, the shop also had a giant seed that we'd ever only seen before at the Eden project in Cornwall. There you go. A car with pizzas in. What more do you want? Everybody's here taking photos of the car with pizzas in it. So we boogered on down the road, and incidentally, if you want to come with a good atmosphere but less people, Friday is supposed to be good for that. And I couldn't help admiring these little mini guitars. I quite like that one in the back right-hand corner, the blue one. There's also people queuing at viral food shops. There's a queue of like 1 billion people trying to get it now. And these are the viral scones you'd get at Cheeky Scone. And a crazy custom-made shoe shop, Coco Art. See the person inside painting the shoes right now, which is quite fun. The Notting Hill shopping bag shop. And Mrs. D says you cannot believe they have 2 shops just devoted to shopping bags. And we kept on walking through the crowds, as from Notting Hill Gate Tube it is about 24 minutes, but if you want to get there quicker you could always go to Ladbroke Grove. Okay guys, so we seem to have actually got to the beginning of Portobello Market, judging by this sign over there that says Portobello Market. General car chaos with people fighting with each other. Oh, and a couple about to get run over. Why did they just run out in the road? So we are here, mooching down Portobello Market. As all you tourists will know, this is one of London's most iconic destinations. It actually spans roughly 2 miles and has antiques, fashion, food, household essentials and second-hand goods, otherwise known as weird stuff. And we thought we'd kick it off by visiting this kind of cowboy shop. Yeah! Cowboy stuff in here. Lovely smell in here.
So, thank you.
I like the cowboy boots, they're pretty cool. Oh, those nice cowboy boots, they're cool. Don't you like the smell? I love the smell of the leather. Oh, you got cowboy hats as well. I like the little cowboy Indian cowboy stuff as well. 140 for a hat.
That's pricey.
That's such a shame, man. Let's try a hat. At £140 a pop, the cowboy hats were too much to buy, but we're going to try them on. You look good in the cowboy hat. Steve's found the most extreme waistcoat on earth, man. What's actually with a full suit? And then we ran into a genuine animal fur shop.
Don't touch that.
Don't touch it. Is it soft?
Oh my god.
Is it soft? What's it made of?
Probably getting
Creature.
charged.
Probably. What creature is it? Silver fox fur. Man, poor fox. Well, that's why I think these are all second-hand, because are you even allowed to make these anymore or not? General random stuff. So you got loads of like jewelry, spoons. Oh, old coins. That's wild, man. Loads of different doorknobs. Yeah. Oh, the door knockers. That's pretty cool, actually.
60.
£160 for a door knocker. Look in the door knocker house. Ooh, loads of door knockers. Oh man, look at that. Then you get a cricket ball door knocker. How cool is that? Oh, I like these little things.
I thought they were going to open.
Yeah, it'd be quite fun if they open. So it's a cricket ball is a door handle, isn't it? Oh, that's like a shell door handle, isn't it?
Not a door handle.
It is. It's these two.
Two connections.
Yeah, that's
I
why we got.
understand.
Yeah. Door handle. How much is it?
300.
Wow, it's a £300 door handle, man. Pretty cool. £58 for a little mouse. Crabs are pretty cool as well, Franny. Crab is cool. What's oh, that is so cool. Let me see the pug. How much is that? That is just so gettable. How much is the pug door handle? £24.
And the sight of a pug is always a good moment to remember to like and subscribe to TravelDog so you can find out all the good tips about food and travel in London and throughout the world.
1930s enamel from the Czech Republic. Bizarre thing. Look at these weird old tins, man. Absolutely bizarre.
58 quid for these old tins.
I know.
58.
Man, and you just find a few of them at home.
Bizarrely enough, it became Portobello Road, named after a farm, and that farm was named to honour Admiral Vernon's 1739 capture of Portobello, otherwise known as Panama.
Oh man, I like the pig. Pig in the pink poodle table, man. What more could you possibly want? And Paddington. Check it out, man. £95 for a burst drum. Check it out, baby. What more do you want? Alright. That's what you came here for. A lot more people I thought actually buying these things, man. Like just swarming up and grabbing them. Quite amazing. Goes on for absolutely miles down here. I hadn't realised, I've been here for years, I hadn't realised just how far along it goes on down here. It goes on and on and on. It does look cool.
Afterwards, I realised this place with the cool eyes is actually a restaurant called Gold that some of my friends had been to. It calls itself a neighbourhood restaurant. That means it's £37.50 for char-grilled picanha steak.
Oh, it is. Oh, yeah, you're right. It's silver, isn't it? Ooh. I like the teapot above the shop. That's pretty cool, isn't it? Okay, we're into this next section, which you can see goes on for miles down there. Man. It's weird. You come here to buy silver stuff. You come here to buy like jugs, old little toy cars, or
We're gonna be 200 a day. We're doing.
oh, look at the little soldiers. Got another Notting Hill bag shop. How bizarre! What are those? Are they like telescopes? Boxing gloves and stuff. It's quite freaky. A lacrosse stick. Check it out. Mini leather football, £20. It goes on and on and on down here, man. Look at it. Oh man, they really are sizing up the stuff to sell in there, man. Oh, I suppose you turn up here and sell all your nice jewelry for cash, don't you? Wow. Man, the amount of people trying on the watches, unbelievable. I'm gonna try on this pink hat. Crazy pink hat? Much too big. Oh, like a weird flat cap thing. Russian midget. That's pretty good, Russian midget. Oh, it's very Russian midget.
And this is the famous Hummingbird Bakery, and it was here that their very first cupcake was sold, and now they're mega famous.
I'm finally getting a little bit of food over here. Got some Portobello spring fries, like potatoes on a stick.
They smell good.
They smell good, don't they? Man, there's still so much of this place to go. People eating their potatoes on a stick. You got things like, what is this, Portobello Road Distillery?
And if I keep going on about how busy it is, that is because the amount of people peaks on Saturdays with over 100,000 visitors. Bizarrely enough, it actually began as a fresh food market in the 19th century, and it became an antique destination in the 40s and 50s.
Let's look at Holy Carrot. Fire grilled koji piezza. Smoked toffee, mushroom pickles and cream. Yeah, it's like a vegan-y kind of restaurant, isn't it? We finally got down to the food. Falafel point. Mumbo, you wanted a falafel, didn't you?
And yes, there's numerous different stalls here with foods from all around the world.
Strawberries. Slightly bizarre. Man, hot dogs. Whoa, that is a beautifully giant dog. Look at you. Weirdly enough, everybody's just trying to eat hot dogs. Hot dogs. Oh, a cheese stall. That's quite nice. sugarcane juice. Look, actually sugarcane being packed up. That's pretty cool. I love all the sugarcane stuff down there. It's so cool, isn't it, man? Look at it. Oh, look at it coming out of the weird machine. What? Thousands of people at a cake store. Okay, another falafel store. It's quite tasty, those falafels. Whoa. Cheers, dude. Whoa, look at you, free falafel.
Free sample, sister.
What's it like?
Fresh falafel, guys. Free sample.
Not bad at all. Warm, soft inside, quite crunchy. Nice. Misty queuing up for a falafel.
While we waited for the falafel, I had a quick look at the Speedboat Bar, which is a Thai restaurant that one of my foodie friends had said was really good.
Amazing view still back down that way. Oh, the people, man.
The market began in the 19th century, selling mainly fresh food. The antiques dealers arrived in the late 40s and 50s. While we continued to wait for the falafel, we popped into this phone shop, primarily because it had a really cool name.
Best thing about the shop, this is called Just In Case.
And if you know any other shops with cool names, put them in the comments below. My absolute fave I've ever found is in Birmingham, and it's called Khan, K-A-H-N, Convenience. Convenience!
There you go. Nice, man. Cheers, man. Look at that. I like the bit of hummus on the top of it. That's pretty cool.
And just very flavoursome. It's so obviously fresh falafels.
Yeah, which is
And
nice.
they come out piping hot.
Yeah.
And they put a lot of filling in as well, so it's really tasty.
How much was it?
£7.
Oh, that's actually pretty good, £7. Dancing Music Man. Oh, check out Dancing Music Man. He's going for it, baby. Fresh oysters. Whoa, they look quite good, don't they? Nice. Classy. Oh, the olive vats are good, man. That's a good vat.
Instead of food, you suddenly got a bit of a vibe of more like clothing on these stalls, but then there was a paella place hidden down here.
Loads of people queuing for paella. Look at that. Okay. I love it. Paella. Someone pronouncing it really nicely in the background. Veggie paella. Starting off with the squid. Right, that one over there, you can see all the nice mussels in it. It's pretty good, doesn't it? Yeah, I quite like it. You can see that one starting with the squid on it, can't you? Functional mushrooms. Check him out. Guy is just dancing in the street, man. He's enjoying himself. Still going. Still going, baby. Apparently by that bridge in the distance, it actually ends. It's like clothes shops or something there. Some more hats.
And so we walked on down here a bit stunned by this point, especially as me and Rafferty hadn't found any food. And we wandered past some more of these stalls, but we're nearly at the end of the proper bit of the market.
I like the rugs just in the back of the van. Pretty cool. So this bridge, I think, sort of kind of signifies the end of it. It says the midget. Says the bridge seems to signify the end of it, but there's still just more and more stuff everywhere down here. Okay, we found more food. Yeah, more paella. Chips with meat on them, I guess, or just chips. I don't know. Chips on a skewer, chips not on a skewer, potatoes being chopped. Peruvian food. Best falafel, Mr. Greek. Venezuelan street food. The best duck confit sandwich in London. Noodles. There's a nasi goreng. Yeah, sure. Thank you very much.
Yeah, this size time like these. We also have chicken and beef.
Okay. Sorry, what's in it again?
Martaba.
Which is it?
Martaba.
Oh, cheese. Got it.
Martaba, nasi goreng, chicken.
Not bad. Oh.
Really nice texture.
What is this? Traditional Turkish food, I think. Can I try? Thanks a lot. Thank you. Do you want one, Mitch?
Yeah. One spinach and cheese, please, Senor.
Spinach and cheese. Turkish.
That's good.
That's good. Oh, better than the other one. Salty.
Nothing bread.
Yeah, that's actually really tasty. Pork lechon, chicken adobo, Philippine street food, cheesesteak, quesadilla, burrito.
Frankly, there were just loads and loads of different places with different kinds of foods to eat here.
Oh, look at that.
What's this one?
Whoa, tandoorian. Oh, just looking, just look cool, man. Himalayan food sounds kind of wild. Vegetable momo. Oh, the handle on the pan is good, man. Oh, fresh mochi. Oh man, that's quite freaky. Actually see mochi being made. Look at that, they look really pretty. Oh look, cream, raspberry. A lot of stuff goes into it.
And in the end, Rafidi ended up choosing a beef burrito from this place.
Well, actually, the meat actually looks quite tasty.
While we waited for the burrito, I was admiring this fresh pasta.
Oh, I like the fresh pasta drying in the wind. That's pretty cool, actually. Oh, that looks tasty. So what have you got on there? You got the beef.
Beef, cheese, onion, spicy rice, guac, and chili. It's really soft, the meat. It's good flavour.
Nice.
Rice is good. All fits together really well.
Oh, you got
nice
rice
spice to it.
Oh, I like that. Spicy or just slightly spicy?
It's not like particularly spicy, but it has a really nice flavour.
What would you get, Ate?
8.5.
Iraqi green rice. Green rice. Good flavour. It's almost quite minty, quite fragrant. It's almost got a lentil-y flavour to it as well.
I enjoyed the green rice, so I went back and got the green rice with all the other things that came with it, like a chicken curry, aubergine curry, spinach curry, and some kofta.
Iraqi green rice thing, mix and match box, £12. This is the spinach here. I'm just going to try it straight away. That's really good. Very mildly spiced, but really flavourful. And I've got the aubergine curry. It's really good, actually. The aubergine is really nice. It's really quite soothing, soft, it's not really spicy. It's just like a really nice, kind of almost gentle curry. Then underneath you've got the green rice, which is the classic thing they talk about. I think it must have dill in it, man. But actually surprisingly good, that right? And you got chicken curry down the end, which is sort of on the bone, I think. Chicken curry. Let's have a go at you. Wow. Yeah, really nice curry.
Is it like Indian curry or is it less spicy? Or
It's less spicy. It's more soothing. It's not really hot. It's just got a hint of spice, but it's got a really soothing, almost Middle Eastern kind of quality to it. Let's get you out, kofta. Oh, that's really nice. Oh, amazing flavour to it, that kofta. There's some amazing spice in that. Kofta is absolutely standout, best bit of the whole thing. Oh yeah, 8.59. What's nice to come here and try Iraqi food? It's going to be hard to find anywhere else. And the kofta is just stunning.
After lunch, we looked at some crazy books, some old-fashioned cameras, and some Zippo lighters.
Okay, we're heading home. It's pouring with rain. There's a beautiful rainbow over there, which is rather lovely. And we are mooching on down the street in the rain. This bookshop here is the one that is used as the storefront of the travel bookshop in Notting Hill. Notting Hill famous film with obviously the same name as Notting Hill. There you go, there's the film. Julia Roberts, Hugh Grant, Notting Hill.
So crew, there you go. That is a pretty comprehensive gallop through Portobello Market in Notting Hill. Is it worth it, despite the 100,000 people there on a Saturday? Obviously, yes. It was madly good fun, wasn't it? And the crowd gives it a bit of a vibe of excitement. All sorts of weird stuff to buy, from cricket ball door handles to super funky cowboy hats. So yes, I think it's a great place to go, and as a tourist you can bring home some weird and wacky stuff for your home.
That is cool, that pug, man. Look at it. How cool is that? In its regalia. That's how all pugs should be dressed every day. Flamingo. Weird flamingo. Look at them. Are they Christmas flamingos? Well, that one's just a weird flamingo. Oh, are they Tom and John? Oh, that's even better. I like Tom and John.